Alright guys, Buddy Dips here. So I am making this video because somebody asked. So here is the M105, Begode M105, and this is my 16X. And do a quick comparison. They are both suspensionless wheels, and this has double the battery life of this. And but if you can look at the size, here's a good example. It's actually not that much bigger. So I moved the wheel. Look at this. So yes, this is about that much smaller on the, but if you look at the width and size of the wheel, they're very similar. Even though this is a 16-inch one. So, but this is about 11 pounds. Yeah, it's about 11 pounds lighter or 12 pounds lighter than this. So, but this has newer tech because it is newer wheel. Now, ride-wise, they're both very easy to ride, I'll tell you. And if you had to choose one for commuting, things like that, far away, stuff like that, this is the better wheel. This is great for like grocery store running. The best thing about this is the handle, okay? And this handle, yes, you have a handle here, but it's not a weight-bearing handle, and apparently it has a pretty weak mechanism in there. You could actually break that off. So if you carry it a lot. So just be careful with that. Now, which one rides better? Well, I'll tell you, I still prefer my 16X. Okay, this is great. Like I said, having the pads, things like that, makes it ride really well. But the 16X just has a special comfort with it when you ride. It's nice. It's a very comfortable wheel to ride, even though it has no suspension. This, as I mentioned, um, once you reduce the pressure and things, that rides pretty good. But this is still more comfortable ride. It has all the amenities this has. It has the LEDs. It has charging ports for charging your phone. This doesn't have that. This has speakers. They both have speakers. They both have LEDs. Yeah, I still prefer the 16X, but this is good for, I wouldn't even call it last mile wheel, because people always say like, oh, M10s are good for last mile wheel. Last mile wheel, if you consider 50 kilometers last mile, it's like that's a long ways. I don't really consider a last mile wheel. It's more than last mile wheel. Last mile wheel, I would consider something that only gives you a range of like, you know 20 kilometers. This is like, I can get about 45 on this thing. So you can go pretty far. So this I'll get about 80 to 90 or higher up range on that thing. So even without suspension, these wheels are great for range. So yeah, it has it that way. This is expensive. They're If you actually factor in the pads and everything, it'll be about the same price as a 16X. So it's, but if you get it on discount, the M105 is actually pretty good. It has a pretty good speed. I can probably it can you can bring it up to like 50 kilometers an hour. So but yeah, they're pretty good wheels. But I would still prefer the 16X. But if you're on a budget and you get this on sale, yeah, this is a good wheel. This reminds me of V8F, and it rides like one. So it's very maneuverable, very nimble, and it does have speed. I can go pretty fast on this thing, on this little tiny wheel, 12-inch reel, and yeah, you can really go fast on it. So but yeah, they both ride pretty good. Both ride a little differently, but I prefer the feel of this, but they both work well. So all right guys, stay tuned, more videos.